Good evening. Welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the program tonight, has the Prime Minister usurped Gandhiji as the country's premier Khadi icon? We ask this because the opposition is angry and upset that the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, KVIC, in its calendar and diary feature Narendra Modi spinning Khadi on a charkha instead of Gandhiji. The imagery is all wrong, says the opposition. The BJP has hit back and point out that there have been many years when Gandhiji did not figure in the calendar. So why is the opposition complaining?
Staff at the government's Khadi headquarters in Mumbai protesting against this. Pictures of the Prime Minister instead of Mahatma Gandhi's. The ruling BJP says the Mahatma's picture has been dropped 6 times in the last 20 years. But it's never been replaced by a Prime Minister's picture, retorted the Congress.
जब 6 बार पहले गांधी जी की तस्वीर नहीं थी, उस समय इस प्रकार का कंट्रोवर्सी खड़ा नहीं हुआ था, तो अचानक आज इस प्रकार के विवाद को जन्म देने का प्रयास क्यों हो रहा है?
लेकिन ये मूल बात नहीं है, मिथ्या प्रचार है, बरवाने की प्रक्रिया है। उन सालों में कभी चरखा था, कभी आम आदमी था, कभी हल था, कुछ था।
And the Bengal Chief Minister tweeted her protest. Furthermore, the Khadi department points out that under Modi's leadership, Khadi sales have shot up.
प्रधानमंत्री जो हैं यूथ आइकन हैं और उनकी वजह से ही, उनकी अपील की वजह से जो है खादी में बहुत बड़ा बदलाव आया है। लगभग 34% सेल में बढ़त हुई है।
एक याद रखना चाहिए कि बापू का जो चरखा था वो एक उत्पादन का स्रोत था, आज एक महज फोटोग्राफिक प्रॉप बन गया है, उसके साथ तस्वीर निकालने के लिए वो इस्तेमाल किया जाता है।
Ever since the BJP came to power in 2014, Gandhi has been the face of Prime Minister Modi's ambitious pet project, the Swachh Bharat campaign. But the obvious question now is that whether the government has gone too far in its attempts to appropriate Gandhi and his legacy and is now ending up replacing him. With camera person Raj and Rahul Srivastav and Parimal Kumar, this is Anand Zanani for NDTV.
Well, this is the big debate this evening. Has the Prime Minister attempted to, or has he usurped the image of Gandhiji as the ultimate Khadi icon in India? That's what we're looking at this evening. Professor Mridula Mukherjee with me in the studio. Thanks, ma'am, very much for being with us. Sambit Patra of the BJP. Jasleen Dhaneja, an international specialist in textiles and handicrafts, with us as well. And from the Congress Party, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Sambit, let me come to you first. The sense that a lot of people have is that Gandhiji and the use of the charkha and him weaving khadi comes from a period of our history when we were involved in an incredible battle. There is a certain symbolism attached with the image of Gandhiji at that time. It was during Satyagraha. It's not something that needs to be replaced because the Prime Minister coming in the place of Gandhiji can never accurately recreate or replicate what Gandhiji was doing at that period of our history.
See, first I would like to begin by saying that as far as this word replacement is concerned, this is absolutely wrong. No one can replace Mahatma Gandhi.
Replicate. I changed my words. Replicate.
Replicate also. No one can even replicate Mahatma Gandhi. He was a philosopher par excellence whom not only India but the world in fact reveres. So there's no question of replicating, copying or in fact replacing him, as the opposition has pointed out. Well, yes, as far as the aim of Khadi Gramodyog, or what is the aim of Mahatma Gandhi? The aim of Mahatma Gandhi was to see to it that Khadi becomes a household name, that Khadi is propagated across the country and that Khadi becomes a means of self-reliance.
And also a symbol of resistance.
Yes, see, as far as resistance is concerned, that was a different part of the history. But the larger part of the history, which should continue, is number one, self-reliance of the poor, empowerment of the poor, because a charkha at home definitely would give rise to self-reliance and empowerment, and Khadi becomes a household name. Now, coming to the technical aspect of this, technically speaking, you have also shown and I also had said that in 1996, 2002, 2005, 2011, 2012, 13, these were 6 occasions, previous occasions on which Gandhiji did not come on.
But there was no Prime Minister either.
There was a charkha, there was some kind of indication, as Abhishek ji was saying. This time also we have a charkha. The only problem is that the Prime Minister is sitting behind the charkha. If you see the Prime Minister, who is the brand ambassador of the Gandhian Darshan, what is the aim? He is fulfilling the aim. He in fact has increased during the UPA time. The economy of the Khadi was between 2 to 7%.
You raised 2 separate points. You've now raised the third point. I'm going to run out of things to talk about. So let's just Professor Mukherjee, firstly, the historical imagery associated with Gandhiji is important. It comes from a period of our history which is eternal for us. And therefore, when you have a political leader, it could be the Prime Minister as it is in this case or anybody else, do you believe that there is something wrong? It doesn't feel right to have that image altered or changed in any way?
I think so. I think completely. I think that placing the Prime Minister there, and particularly Narendra Modi, as it happens, who has nothing to do with either the freedom struggle or the legacy of the charkha or the legacy of Gandhiji, except for using Gandhiji's image and name to push certain policies and, you know, try to construct a lineage. I think there is nothing in common between the ideals propounded by Gandhiji and the persona of Mr. Narendra Modi. In fact, the way I see it is not just a matter of chance that Gandhiji has been dropped, and he may have been dropped earlier for different reasons, but no political leader was replacing him. I think here there's a very clear attempt to construct a lineage. You would know from our ancient history that when rulers came to power, they then they got the Brahmins then to construct lineages from them, either a Suryavanshi or a Chandravanshi, and you constructed a long lineage to legitimize your power. Here it's a very clear attempt to link up with Khadi, to link up with the freedom struggle, because that's the weak link for the BJP and its ancestors, because they never had anything to do with the freedom struggle. So there's a desperate attempt always to construct this non-existent lineage, and I see this as part of that.
Samit,
I'll be very quick. As far as link up with legacy is concerned, freedom fight and freedom struggle is concerned, I don't want to sound condescending and bad, but I mean to say Sonia Gandhi ji has no link up with, she doesn't belong even to India, though we accept her as an Indian today, but she never had any link up with the freedom struggle, yet she is the leader of one of the biggest parties of the country today. Secondly,
you're talking of the party and the politics.
I'll come to that. Secondly, what is the core agenda of the Khadi Gram Udyog? The core agenda of the Khadi Gram Udyog is to send Khadi across the country, and that's what I was saying, 2 to 7% between the UPA government for 10 years.
I don't think anybody's questioning that, Samit, or the expanded sale of Khadi, and I think everybody would welcome that. It's the imagery which is associated, it's as Professor Mukherjee seems to suggest over here, it's a deliberate effort to take credit and to associate with something the BJP has not been associated with.
I'll answer that. Look, if we had to create a lineage, and if we had to build this optics, then look, one of the biggest program of this government, the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, has the Gandhi's spectacles. You know that the Gandhi is looking to see whether one of his dream comes fulfilled or not in India. If we had to replace Gandhiji there, then we would have replaced Gandhiji there.
And there have been so many schemes where Gandhiji's name has been used. Manrega, for example, right? What's necessarily wrong with using the name of Gandhiji or being involved with something which Gandhiji has been involved with in the past?
Not at all. There's nothing wrong in that. I don't think there's anything illegitimate about naming a scheme which aims for the first time in the history of independent India to actually reach the poorest of our country and give them something to survive on after Gandhi, because Antodaya is his concept.
Right.
You know, so I think it makes perfect sense over there.
It was done by a political
I don't
party.
think the Swachh Bharat really had any legitimacy to use the spectacles of Gandhi, but I don't want to enter that debate. The issue is not that. The issue is whether this is appropriate for the present Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a member and a leader of the BJP, whose ancestors, the Jansangh, the Hindu Mahasabha and the RSS.
Okay, just 1 second, Dr. Abhishek Singhvi wants to come in as well. Dr. Singhvi, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
Where do they claim the legacy of Khadi?
Dr. Singhvi, a lot of people would say that a Khadi icon, the Prime Minister is a Khadi icon in this country. It is a fact that the sale of Khadi has gone up. How would you respond to those who say that in a modern India, if you've got an individual who many see as a Khadi icon, what's wrong with him taking that image? This is the counter perspective. Respond to that.
After the multiple and long interventions you've allowed everybody else, I hope you'll allow me my 2 minutes peacefully.
Sir, I'll allow you more than 2 minutes. So go right ahead.
The issue is much wider. I am grateful. Let me tell you that this is far more serious. Gandhiji can't be belittled if the whole world combined to do it. That's not the point, but it's a far larger issue. Point number one, this is reflective of the obsession bordering on narcissism, self-promotion, self-love of the Honorable Prime Minister. It is reflected in everything and anything he does. It is I, me and mine first. There have been earlier Prime Ministers in this country, though Mr. Modi would have us believe that he is the first Prime Minister. Nobody has tried to implant himself in place of Gandhiji, and there is no reason why you should not use the word replace and replicate. Point number two, to meet this, a totally fallacious and a completely misleading defense is given that there were 6 years when there was no Gandhiji. That is worse than Ashwathama Hato in Mahabharata. A half-truth is worse than a complete falsehood. Those 6 years did not find those Prime Ministers or even the President of India having this great, irresistible desire to be on the KVIC, as Mr. Modi does. So, this is the first Prime Minister who has tried it. Number three, the point is larger also because Mr. Modi, today as the Prime Minister, can want to be here. Tomorrow nothing would prevent him from being on the currency note. He has already put Swachh Bharat there. Swachh Bharat may be a government program. Suppose 10 government programs of this government are printed on the rupee note. The government will last 5 years. The note will last 50 years. It is, India is not the plaything.
All right, Dr. Singhvi, you made lots of points.
Wide. And lastly, one more point.
Yes.
It is the supreme irony of this topic. It's the supreme irony that you have the ideological killers of Gandhi now literally replacing Gandhi past death.
Rahul Gandhi had to apologize for this.
On this forum.
Anyway,
ideologically,
if he has completed
this party's, its philosophy, its thinking, ideological killers, clearly, whether they actually did it or not, is a matter of a commission of inquiry that is over.
This is
all
a
right.
caveat.
So that's an important caveat. That's an important caveat, sir, because I'm sure many in the BJP would disagree with that.
For those who understand,
but I think Sambit wants to respond.
No. Ideological killers means that.
A lot. Can I please answer?
Let Sambit come in. Yeah, go ahead.
Number one, first to Madam. Madam said that, it should not be Mr. Modi because he has nothing to do with Khadi, he has nothing to do with charkha, and he has nothing to do with freedom fight. To this categorically I would say, he is an Indian man, he had everything to do with, his forefathers had everything to do with freedom fight, with Khadi, and he is promoting Khadi.
That way all
just Madam, I was not interjecting.
Sonia,
there was a time when Sonia Gandhi had nothing to do with India. She had nothing to do. She had nothing to do with our food. She had nothing to do with our way of clothing. She had nothing to do with the Khadi.
But then,
Madam, I was not interjecting. Please, let's be civil. But yet, she was in the calendars as Durga. Remember, forget Khadi. She was as Durga. She was portrayed by none other than the Congress people as Durga. Third, to what Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi said, that this is narcissism, self-promotion. I will tell you what is narcissism and self-promotion. Most of the projects in this country, millions of the streets of this country, many of the hospitals of this country are named after only one family. We have nothing about Subhash Chandra Bose, we have nothing about Patel. Only two programs of the government have Mahatma Gandhi. Only two programs in this country are named after Mahatma Gandhi. Rest all, either it is Rajiv Gandhi, or it is Sanjay Gandhi, or it is Indira Gandhi, or it is Jawaharlal Nehru. So please don't talk about narcissism.
If that is a bad thing, is it a good thing for Mr. Narendra Modi to now become the symbol of Khadi? And
there is a difference, Madam. There is a
one second.
Brand ambassador.
1 second. I just want to go across to Jasleen Dhaneja. I want to go across to Jasleen Dhaneja. 1 sec, Dr. Singhvi, I'll come to you after that. I have another panelist. I have to go to all my panelists. I don't know. I will come to you next, Dr. Singhvi. Please bear with me. Jasleen Dhaneja, what... As an international specialist in textiles and handicrafts, is it also not a fact that a lot of young people in this country are wearing Khadi because they are inspired to wear Khadi because of the image of the Prime Minister now? Do they not associate the Prime Minister with the image of Khadi?
Not at all. Not at all. they associate it with that fabulously expensive suit that was made. I mean, what are you people
But ma'am, that's
talking?
not necessarily correct now, is it?
Replacing the father
Prime
of the
Minister,
nation?
the Prime Minister is very much
Replacing-
an icon when it comes to Khadi. He wears his Nehru jackets. He wears them all the time. He goes to shops where the sales shoot through the roof on a single
I mean,
day.
are you going to
And
let
of course
me
he
talk,
wears,
or
I
are
will.
you going to go on talking yourself?
Go ahead, ma'am.
You know, I mean, come on, you know, that they're replacing Gandhiji, the father of the nation. Do you replace the father of the nation? The
Can you
man
replace the
who-
father of the nation?
who is
Once a
known
father is always a
throughout the
father. You
world.
can't replace the father.
You know, yeah, but you know, I mean, exactly. Do you want to give us a, you know, no status whatsoever? I am.
But where is
so
the issue of
shocked.
status in this, ma'am?
And this calendar, and the point is that the tradition of Khadi is something which was initiated by Gandhiji, and it was not only with the, of course, empowerment of giving a means to earning
Yes.
a livelihood, as well as for self-sufficiency, as well as he believed that using the fingers, your hands, is most important. And
So who is
he
contesting all
brought
this?
this
But ma'am,
out
nobody is
and
contesting
made
that.
it very important.
So can I please
Ms.
answer,
Dhaneja,
madam?
nobody is
Yeah,
contesting
nobody
that.
is contesting that, but by trying to change the image, what are you saying? What is
I'll
BJP
just take 5
saying?
seconds.
Okay,
That
all right,
they
ma'am,
are
I get your point.
replacing
I'll go to
the-
Dr. Singhvi next, and Samit, I'll give you more time to
See, because
respond
it's
to
3
two
versus
people.
1, I need to
no,
come
no,
in.
no, I'll give you more time because I'm just trying to go.
I want-
Dr. Singhvi,
yes.
and then I'll
Yeah,
give you more
please.
time. Yes.
Yes. I heard a lot of things. The first part of what I heard was very, very tall compliments to Gandhi, which sound like empty shibboleths and slogans, hollow words, contrary directly to what is happening to him. Second, I heard that people in political posters and election campaigns depicting somebody as something, and by the way, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi never asked or authorized depiction as Durga, but a political poster depicting Sonia Gandhi in one case by an unauthorized person as Durga is equivalent to replacing Gandhi on the Khadi Udyog Commission's calendars and diaries. If this is an analogy, I don't know what the meaning
No,
of a
no one
fallacy
gives this
is.
analogy. Only saying to the answer was to the
Three.
question when Madam
I
said that
repeatedly hear
Dr.
mentioning-
Modi had
Singhvi, last
nothing to
point
do
because
with
Samit
Gandhi.
wants to- yeah, go ahead.
I didn't interrupt.
Yes, sorry,
I
sorry,
can't-
doctor.
No, but
Sorry,
he's
Dr.
interrupting
Singhvi.
me, so I must take his time. I must take his time. Now, third, he is repeatedly mentioning Sonia Gandhi. Just in case he and the rest of the panelists have forgotten, it is not Sonia Gandhi in 10 years of UPA rule who tried to get on to the Khadi Udyog Commission's notes or diaries or calendars. It is Mr. Narendra Modi for the first Prime Minister's dubious distinction.
Okay.
And last but not the least, the point is, you are trying to appropriate legacies falsely,
My God.
contrary to historical narrative.
All right, all right.
You are trying to
That's
appropriate
the
legacies,
recurring point
thinking
that,
the people of
that's
India
mentioned
eat
by
grass,
many of our panelists,
eat
that you're
grass.
appropriating a part of our history with
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
See,
go ahead.
first and foremost, father of the nation can never be misappropriated. He can never be replaced. A father is always a father. Number 2, as far as the imagery is concerned, charkha is the Gandhi darshan. No one can change. The image of charkha appears in our mind. It is Gandhi's face which we see in our heart. The Prime Minister of the country sitting behind the charkha represents the darshan. It represents the philosophy that the Prime Minister is following the footsteps of Gandhi to promote his ideas, that is Khadi, ahimsa, that is toilets, sauchalay, swachhata. And that's what the Prime Minister has been. There's no Prime Minister up till now in the history of this country who talked about toilets from the ramparts of Red Fort, as Mr. Modi has talked about. The second part, most of us, I mean, eminent people are talking about symbolism only, that we should only have Khadi as symbolism, and that's what Khadi was reduced to during the UPA period. It was only a matter of tokenism and symbolism. Thankfully, we have a brand ambassador who has taken it beyond symbolism, and that's what Gandhi would be happy today. Thirdly, and very importantly, as far as misappropriation of the name Gandhi is concerned, none other than the Nehru family has misappropriated the name Gandhi. Gandhiji wanted the Congress to be dissolved immediately after it had served its function, but this Nehru family, which misappropriated the name Gandhi to itself, did not let the Congress to be dissolved.
Let's just try and limit it to this. Professor Mukherjee, the point that Sambit is mentioning, that the Prime Minister over there represents darshan for Gandhiji, and that is why it is not a question of misappropriation. It's respect, is what they're trying to say.
Well, I don't see it like that at all, and I don't think it will be seen by anybody like that. I think it's very clear that there is a clear-cut attempt to insert the Mr. Narendra Modi, who is the Prime Minister of India today, and as was mentioned by others also, is obviously very much obsessed by his own image and the attempt to aggrandize that and concentrate all power as well as authority and symbolism of whatever is going on, whether it's demonetization or this or that. It all now has to emanate from the persona of the Prime Minister. And you are there everywhere. You want to even get onto the Khadi and village industries program. Look at the employees over there. They've struck work. None of us have mentioned that. All the newspapers carry the report of that. Surely
there have been protests, yes.
People who have been working there for years find somewhere something inside them violated, that they are taking this step. Now, try and understand what it is. Somewhere they feel that the philosophy, you know, the image, the whole purpose of the, and I do not agree that the sole purpose of the Khadi and Village Industries Commission is to increase the sales of Khadi, and we need brand ambassadors. I'm also a little upset that our Prime Minister should be becoming brand ambassadors. Surely they've got better things to do running the country than become brand
why
ambassadors
can't the Prime Minister
for
be a brand
PTM,
ambassador?
for PTM or for what, you know? I mean, this is
I'll
also
come
a
to
bit
that.
of absurdity
Okay.
going on.
Last word, just very briefly, we need to
surely
wrap this up.
They can, and then I think, you know, because Mr.
See, there are three
Patra
spokespersons
said
from
many
one
things.
party. Can I please speak?
Can I just finish?
Just quickly,
please?
ma'am,
Yeah.
yes.
I said you said many things which were a clear distortion of history, and it would take me an hour to counter
don't go to
you.
that history.
So I won't even
Yeah,
try
it's
to
better. Not to
get
go
into that.
Better.
But I think it's very important. You mentioned so many programs which the government is named after Gandhi and this and that and the other. But I think the essence of Gandhi they do not know. Otherwise, how could you have a measure like demonetization?
Oh God,
which
where are we
has
heading
affected
towards? From Khadi Gram Udyog to
you know, what is this?
demonetization.
Oh my
I'll
God,
tell you,
when
I'll tell
somebody-
you.
So why are you
I'll
interrupting
explain
me
that.
now? You make a virtue out of not interrupting people. Why are you interrupting
No, but
me?
Professor
Can
Mukherjee-
you allow me a few
Madam,
words?
he has
But
told me
Professor
to
Mu- but
answer.
Professor-
Don't
but
be
Professor Mukherjee,
annoyed.
shall we limit ourselves
Yes.
to this particular
Yes.
case and Khadi
I'm
and the image of the
limiting
Prime
my- I'm
Minister
giving
here,
an
not
example.
demonetization?
I'm giving an example. A measure that hits the poorest in the country.
Okay.
Anybody who can do that
Now, Vishnu, can I-
is not carrying
Ga-
Gandhi's legacy
Okay.
forward.
Very
That's
brief.
my
Yeah,
point.
last comment to you, and we
can't
need to wrap
follow
this
Gandhi
up. Okay.
and
Ma'am,
hit the
ma'am,
poor.
ma'am, we have a time issue. Yeah.
So, Madam is saying that the ones who hits corruption does not follow Gandhi?
No, she's not said that.
No. What demonetization is against black money. She knows that very well. And naturally, people who supported a regimen full of scams would not be happy with demonetization. And secondly, I mean, all these people are very unhappy to see the Prime Minister in a asserting position as brand ambassador. Do you think the Prime Minister should be a brand ambassador to Das Janpat? That's what Mr. Manmohan Singh was reduced to. He was, yes. What was NSE? He was the brand ambassador of NSE, promoting singular address in this country. Thankfully, today we have a Prime Minister
Surely
who is
terminology
promoting
has some
the
meaning,
philosophy of the father of the nation.
Okay. We
Surely.
need to wrap this up right over here. Larger question, clearly not answered over here, but it's something that's a deeply emotive issue. I don't think anybody is in any doubt about that. I'd like to thank all of you very much for joining us.